Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to Opassion Singapore, Malaysia Global. And just a short intro about who and what Opassion is. Opassion was founded in November 2020 by and run by a group of dedicated host team members. And we had our first trial webinar on 23rd September 2021 and our first public webinar on the 30th September 2021 under the mentorship of Dr. Bill Williams. We meet every Thursday. The mission of Opassion: to ignite passion for humanity. As we come together week after week, we believe we are able to ignite each other's passion for humanity, and then to nurture mindset and leadership for passion and oblast, and to form passion groups. In the longer term, we want to form passion groups for good causes, people of the same passion, of the same interest, whether in the same city or globally, we can come together for a very good cause. We believe on Passive is a divine movement of God, and we thank Mr. Ash Mufara for answering God's call to run this humanitarian movement to make the world a better place. Tonight, our speaker is one of our host team member, Florence How from Malaysia. We are so blessed to have her in our host team to help run this webinar, run this team with all its initiatives and goals. And tonight, I just want to touch on Florence's passion. She is passionate about providing food and better homes for people, underprivileged people, and also better medical aid for the underprivileged. Her bigger dream and goal is to build communities, improving infrastructure, roads, bridges, and schools. What a high calling. But it can be done corporately. And then she believes in empowering people through life skills. And she's a spiritual lady. She is for nurturing our spiritual life and finding our own path, our spiritual path. So thank you, Florence. It's my privilege to introduce you, and thank you so much. All these months of working together with you, you are a fantastic team partner. So tonight is yours. Her title is, everyone, very aptly, Stay Healthy to Enjoy the Big Harvest Before the Apples Come. All yours, Florence.
Thank you, Mabel, for their introduction. Uh, First of all, I would like to thank everyone here for giving me the opportunity to share tonight on this platform. In order for me to get this stable, let me off the video so that I can put on my screen sharing. Yeah. Okay. Greetings to all the kings and queens again across the globe. Year 2023 has been an exciting year for us and is coming to an end soon. And we are looking forward to another exciting year 2024 to enjoy the big harvest. As you can see from my slide here, the topic tonight is very clear and concise. So, are you all ready to enjoy the big harvest?
Yes.
Okay. Now, here from the slides, it's very obvious. I believe most of us will pick the last picture. A picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So how to stay healthy? First, I want to make a disclaimer. I'm not a qualified practitioner nor a health management. I am only sharing with you what I have learned all these years as I have interest to gain knowledge on health and wellness management for my own interest. Okay. First, let's go back a little about science, what we have learned in school. From this slide, you can see how complex our human body is. From cells, it forms tissue to organs, to organ system, and to organism. And on the right side of my slide here, you can see the whole human body here. It has 30 trillion cells and 200 different types of cells in our body. That is how complex our human physiology is. Now, let's look at why are people so sick nowadays. According to WHO, World Health Organization declares that 80% of the people on earth are sub-health, meaning 80% of us are neither ill nor healthy. That is, it could be on the what they call high cholesterol, high blood pressure, gastric, whatever, not very serious illnesses. These are the 80% there. So it is very obvious that we have done something very wrong to our brain and our body. And 60% of all human illness and disease is caused by stress. 60% people on earth were taught to breathe wrongly. And 70% of the people have drunk not enough water, despite our body in 70% water content. And 90% of the people have suffered from postural issues. Yeah. Now let's look at the causes. What are they? The first one we look at is the free radicals. You can see from the slide here, we are bombarded by all these UV light, the air pollution, the smoking, our cells being what they call that damaged by the EMF. Our cell phone. Don't forget about our cell phone, our what they call the Wi-Fi. Yeah, all this inflammation. Yeah, free radicals is one of the causes. And then let's look at the food pyramid. Now this is the old food pyramid, which is not applicable anymore because right at the bottom there you can see so much of the carbohydrates, and today people are not taking that much of the carbohydrates. Yeah, this is the latest that I have got it. That is from Harvard. You can see that they have more veggies and then the water and a healthy oil. But that also let's be honest. I myself I can confess I don't even um, not disciplined enough to follow this new food pyramid. Sometimes it's because of our busy lifestyle, for convenience, and we are so uh, spoiled with food choices of food. Yeah, and so many food chain restaurants around, and we can just grab a food and then just have to fill up our stomach. Not so much of the nutrition. Now, I'm sure these are the food that actually looks delicious, isn't it? A hamburger, the fried noodles, the coffee, right? Whatnot, right? Carbonated drinks, the fried chicken, right? The cheese. Right? So let's look at a self check whether we are sick or not. Now whether we feel fatigue, hot headed, that is hot temper, brain fog, which is uh, thinking of too many things in our brain, yeah, and then obese and aching. What are the causes of this? Let's look at it here. Now, do you know what is our body pH balance? Any idea? Anybody can answer this?
7.4.
Yeah, very close, Kumaran. Okay. To be exact, it is 7.365 pH, yeah, which is slightly alkaline. Even this scientist, Dr. Otto Warburg, he has won the Nobel Prize in 1931 that every single person who has cancer cell has a pH that is too acidic, right? So how do we test? There's one way we can test is by using this litmus paper that we can buy from the pharmacies, right? Let me show you this chart here. When I was introduced about to this pH thing, that was 2021, about 2 years ago. Um, I did a reading. Somebody did a reading for me, and my pH. Can look at the last one. This, okay, can see this one, yeah. Okay, it's red, meaning it's no good. Whatever is in green is good. Yeah, let's forget about the numbers here. Just look at the color bar here. So mine was red, and then hypoxia means my cells do not have enough oxygen. I mean, this is what it is. Hypoxia means we have enough oxygen level in our cells. So I have all this in green. Fortunately, only thing is the pH is in red. Yeah, which is no good. So then I improved my lifestyle, and in 3 weeks later, that is in 6th of November 2021, my pH has improved to green. But I was having this water shortage here, blue. It went up slightly out of the green radar. This is the device that I use now to monitor my health. This is, in short, is called QRMA, Quantum Resonance Magnetic Analyzer. Well, today technology is very advanced. We have this simple tool that we can monitor our health, basically. Previously used to be, cost a bomb. At not many people can afford it, but today this is a very affordable price. Well, I'm not here to sell you this device or to promote this, but it's just basically it's a very simple tool that we can have it at home, that to monitor our health for our family members as well. How do we overcome this? Just now we mentioned about the having a acidic pH in our body that can lead to many diseases. So how do we overcome this? That is basically to have alkaline food. Now, what we can have is like ginger, actually top in the food hierarchy. Turmeric is another one, but not many people actually like to take ginger because of the spiciness. Yeah, you can just get a few slices and then you sip it, what do you call that? Have it in a hot water or warm water. Then you of course a lot of green veg, herbs, spices, fruits, coconut water, green tea, and seeds. Of course, there's a lot more. You can find it out from Mr. Google there. The next one is water. Water is the source of life. Now, you can see from this slide here itself, the kidney itself actually has 83% water content. The heart has 79%. The brain has 75%. The liver has 86%. The skin has 64%. The blood has 83%. The bones has 22%. Muscles 75%. Lungs 80%. Joints 83%. Lymph nodes 94%. Unfortunately, most of us do not drink enough water. You know how important is water to us? It helps us to improve our blood circulation, to eliminate toxins. This is very important. Eliminate toxins from the body, digestion, absorption, to regulate our body temperature, and to deliver nutrients and oxygen to our cells, and to lubricate our joints. Now, these two slides here, you can see one is with high viscosity and low viscosity, meaning you can see on the left-hand side, the cells are actually sticking together, meaning is the referring to the thickness of the blood. The other side, which is where it is supposed to be in this condition on the right-hand side, right? So that the cells is able to transport the oxygen to our respective cells and the organs to its optimum level. So why having low viscosity is good is to improve the blood flow, reduce strain on the heart, prevention of clot formation, maintain normal blood pressure, improves oxygen transportation, and to reduce our heart diseases. This is one illustration here. You can see the congestion of the blood here. Yeah. This is one way that we can also do a simple diagnosis on our blood condition, our blood circulation. Just show you uh, highlight three conditions here. One is on the high blood pressure. You can see the structure of the capillaries. It's basically actually, it's a very simple device here. By placing our finger under this microscope here, and you can see that these capillaries, our blood capillaries, right? And this is supposed straight this way. This is supposed to be the healthiest capillaries. But I have seen people with this kind of capillary structure. This indicates a person has got a high blood pressure. This to the liver tissue, on the issue on the liver, and these are the blockages. This one having a very dense, very strong red color here on at the tip of the capillary. Yeah. Uh, the other one is actually, you know that our body do actually have frequencies, yeah, or objects, in fact, including our human body, and different organs have got the different frequencies. Unfortunately, again, we are being bombarded by all this EMF, from our cell phone, from our Wi-Fi, all those microwave and things like that. So this can cause the imbalances of the frequencies in our body that leads to uh, chronic diseases. Yeah. So how we can do it is these are some holistic approach that we can do to improve ourselves by doing grounding. You can find this in YouTube, right? Basically, is to go barefoot, walking on the grass to discharge the uh, what you call that, the positive ion out, and then to get the negative ion from the Mother Earth, right? And listening to different frequency music can also help in healing. This also you can find it from the YouTube. Listening to some songs with lyrics full of positive energy. Practice qigong, just like the Chinese, they like it. They call it to improve the qi, right? The proper way to do the breathing. Practice qigong, tai chi. All this also will help to improve our health. Okay, a big thank you to all, and let's look forward to a bountiful year 2024, and importantly, be healthy to enjoy the big harvest. That's all for my presentation tonight.
Thank you, Florence.
Welcome.
Very short, sharp, but almost touching comprehensively all the aspects that contribute to good health. We are so blessed to be enlightened in this way. And I say again, it's a few slides, but it's really touch on everything that our body needs to be healthy. Let's turn off this. Uh, should I click share screen? Remove? Where do you want me? Okay, are we back on? Okay, let's go. Yeah, turn to gallery now. Okay, thank you, Florence, again. And does anyone have any Q&A? Give her some hard questions. uh,
Well, as I have
BPH.
mentioned, I am not a
Yeah.
practitioner. I have gathered all the knowledge over the years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she touched on acidity, water, blood circulation, human frequencies. Yeah, holistic approach. One thing that touched me is that I didn't know that it's good to walk barefoot sometimes. Is it sometimes or every day to
If
walk
you can do it
barefoot?
every day, it's good because we are exposed to EMF every day, right?
Yeah, yeah. So has it got to be on grass, mud, or cement is no good, right? The
Oh, they are
cement,
better to
no,
be on the grass. Yeah.
on the grass or ground. What about the beach?
Yes, the
Where
sand
the
can do.
sand
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit easy. You know, take a walk around the beach, or yeah, yeah. We seldom walk barefooted, but now we have a reason for that. To do that. Uh, let's continue to absorb and digest what Florence has shared with us. It's very profound. And the theme on health is always important for founders like us, because without health, we can't enjoy the apples, and we can't use the apples to make the world a better place. We can't fulfill our goals and vision, etc. So we need, first of all, to maintain our own health in order to fulfill many goals. And as usual, I, I would like Dr. Bill to comment, and then the rest of us can continue to absorb. And if there's any questions to ask, we can continue to ask. I'm sure she knows a lot more, but it's just that sometimes it's good to just share the main frame of it, and then have questions and answers. Dr. Bill, if you can help us
Sure, sure.
decipher.
Glad to, Mabel. Thank you, Florence. That was wonderful. A good introduction to holistic medicine. I, being a dentist, spent maybe 5 years studying holistic dentistry, and it took me into areas way beyond what normal dentists do. And I traveled far and wide, studied under physicians, chiropractors, veterinarians, dentists, medical doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, and many other people, learning a lot of things about holistic medicine. So everything you talked about, I've heard. I've,
Mm,
I've studied it. I've actually tried to do some of it in my practice. So uh, things that I found that worked, I kept doing. Things that didn't work for me, I kind of let go by the wayside and concentrated on the things that I knew. But I uh, I had friends who stayed into the holistic dental area and were able to treat magnificently people's problems that other people could not treat. So there's a lot of validity to what you're talking about. If you're an expert and you know what you're doing, you can make a big difference for somebody's health. Uh, a couple of things about the therapies that I thought about while you were talking. I could talk about 20 or 30 minutes on every slide you said, probably, as far as
mm,
something. It's a deep subject.
mm,
My son has gotten into breath therapy, and so he's uh, certified in breath therapy now. And he traveled to Turkey just last fall, just a few months ago, to take his second level accreditation course in breath therapy. So, and if you follow Dr. Modi over in India, Modi is an expert in breath therapy himself as well as nutrition. So that's a big area that just learning to breathe properly can improve your health, which I didn't know too much about that early on. That was kind of a new thing for me. I did study acupuncture for many years, and I studied auricular acupuncture, and specifically because I was a dentist, and so I had to kind of work from here up more than in the whole body. So auricular acupuncture would just take the ear and work on the different points of the ear. You know, the representation of the body is in different places on the skin, And so the ear represents the body. Like if you look at the shape of the ear, it's like a little curled up baby. And there's a name they call the representation of the body is homunculus. And so if you look at a map of the ear for the acupuncture points, they look like a little person, a little fetus with its legs tucked up under its, like, like a baby in the womb. So that was kind of an area that I worked with for 4 or 5 years, and had an acupuncture machine that would deliver microcurrents. So you've heard a lot about microcurrents that can treat the frequencies. And so we were dealing with frequency when we were treating. So that was kind of an interesting point you made. Then you talked about the importance of cells, and that cellular therapy was something that we got involved with about 6, 7 years ago when we were working with our healthy longevity and wellness product. We can now directly affect the mitochondria's production of things that fight the free radicals and make things better. So right now, there's been some major breakthroughs in cellular therapy to support the human health beyond just the organ systems and just the big picture. It kind of goes into the micro picture of working on each cell. So each cell is returned to its normal state. So that's the thing that, when I was introduced to Passive, it was because I was introduced to it by somebody who was in my ASEA group, and I was with ASEA for about 2 or 3 years before I found out about Passive, right? And so that was kind of the connection point of how I found about Passive. And so I was becoming an international speaker on ASEA and the cellular therapy that has for the mitochondrial support. So that's kind of an interesting thing that is basically this is the most recent thing that I studied in medicine. You talked about grounding and walking on the bare earth with your feet. Well, they also have things like grounding blankets. You could sleep on a grounded blanket and get some of the same benefits. And it's interesting, the grounding blanket plugs into the wall circuit. That there's a ground, the third hole on a US plug in the wall is a grounding to the earth. And so if you plug into that third hole with your grounding blanket, you'll sleep on the ground, literally, as far as the grounding of the ions. So that's an interesting concept, the grounding blanket. You just sleep on it. And then there's the sauna and steam. Dr. Modi talked about steam. In a steam room, if you breathe in through your nose, you can kill the coronavirus. And he was saying that was one of the major things that he recommended to help fight COVID, was to have a regular steam bath of a certain heat. And you would kill most of the viruses just by being in that steam room. And of course, we've heard a lot about sauna and temperature heating the body, causing health to be improved. And my son even gets in those ice baths to do the improvement to the circulatory system. So all these things you talked about, Florence, are very appropriate. And as we learn more, we know that Western medicine particularly doesn't have all the answers. Eastern medicine has a lot of answers that we can look to. And I recognize that many of the things you were speaking of are staples of Eastern medicine. And we all can learn a lot from each other. The things that Dr. Modi talked about a lot, and we were doing lectures with him, the things they do in India, things they do in Malaysia, things they do in Europe. The European auricular acupuncture was from a French neurologist that I studied under. So yeah, everybody in the world has a point of view of health and how you can maximize it. And I'm kind of glad I came today to kind of get a refresher course in holistic medicine because it's refreshing and it's something that I started learning back in 1979 and spent a lot of time in it, but I haven't been involved in it for a while now. So it's refreshing to be back in the middle of the concepts, and maybe everybody should revisit some of those things if you haven't paid attention, because they're coming back into focus again for us, and especially the cellular health area.
Mm.
Everybody can live a lot longer if they have production of the proper kind of nutrients to feed the mitochondria. Thank you, Florence. And back to you, Mabel.
Thank you, Dr. Bill. Has anyone else would like to share what they have heard or ask a question? What about Julie? You
More water.
more water? Yeah, exactly. I also have water.
Hello, hello, morning. Again, good evening, good night, wherever you are. I was kind of in and out having breakfast and getting ready, so I didn't hear all of your contribution, but I heard part of it, and I heard Dr. Bell's contribution, and it's pertaining to medicine. And what I can share is that in St. Lucia, um, we do a lot of herbal medicine. Fortunate for me, my mom is a herbalist. So we practice a lot of the natural remedies. If I may share, if you would allow me, if I may share for coronavirus, we beat that because we use the papaya leaves. I don't know if you know of papaya. We use the papaya leaves, and we use a lot of clove to do tea and steaming. We steam with the clove, and this is how we were able to conquer the coronavirus in St. Lucia. We also have a herb we call vervain. So we use all of that. It's and we the flu, the cold, especially around this time, Christmas coming up, we have a lot of flu symptoms coming up on island. So we do a lot of natural remedies, herbal medication. We have a lot of fresh coconut water that we use, and lemon, we use that a lot. So a lot of the other herbs that I know, I may not know the English name for it, so I can't tell you. It's in our Creole language. So but we're kind of going back into the ancient times, the ancient medication on our island. We have had a lot of persons suffering with diabetes and high blood pressure, and they're realizing that the medication given by the doctors, they're not getting better, so they're going to the natural, remedies, and it's working wonders. I have persons who have left the island, and they had gone to the US to live, Canada, everywhere else, and they come back to St. Lucia to, do treatments. We have several persons doing treatments. I remember I have a brother who's in the US, and he had severe kidney stones, and the doctors had recommended that he do surgery. And when he spoke to me last, I said, no, you need to come home. And he came home. He stayed here for a month and a half. He did his treatment, and he's now free. He's good, So yes, I do recommend the herbal medication because my mom, like I say, my mom is a herbalist. bless her soul, she's 88 years old and she's still practicing. So you know,
Wow.
it's 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 something that I embrace, you know,
Mm,
and we need to take care of our bodies, especially um, now that we are coming into um, wealth with on passive. If you're not healthy, if a nation is not healthy, then we're in trouble. So we have to practice healthy practices. Drink a lot of water. A lot of coconut water I recommend is very
mm,
good. You know, the coconut water, lemon water. In
mm,
you know, you do lemon water in some in first thing on the morning. I do lemon juice with a cup of hot water, and that works wonders. You know, keeps you healthy, boost up your immune system, and you know, I can share some of my remedies. I think I'm going to go on Onet and create a group, and I can share my remedies there
Wow.
with um, founders like myself, because my mom kind of passed on her practices onto me. She wants me to embrace it. I'm learning slowly. Some of it I'm still in the process of you know, catching up with her.
mm,
She
mm.
is, when you come to my mom's home and she just looks at you and she says, you know, wait, I'm coming. And she goes into her garden. She has a little, you know, herbal garden, and she picks her leaves, and she would, you know, make a concussion for you. And next 3 days, you're up and
Wow.
about, you know.
Wonderful.
So this is my sharing. Sorry if I went off the
No,
topic.
no, no. It's not off at all. It's exactly we're talking about
Yeah.
holistic, yeah, and remedy. And this is what Florence is, you know, uh, intriguing us all to think about it. And did you say your mom is 88 years old?
Yes, she is.
Wow,
Yeah.
wonderful,
My
wonderful.
dad passed away 5 years ago at the age of 94. So,
Ah,
um,
wonderful.
yeah, we have quite healthy practices in the family in terms of, you know, taking care of ourselves, the foods we eat, you know. So I'm fortunate. Thank God.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm thinking of creating a club in
Yep.
ONET, and I can share the remedies that I know. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe persons may not know the Creole names to the medicine, the herbs, but I'm thinking of taking photos and adding it on, and you know, you could probably identify it. I don't know if you may have it in your own countries, wherever you are, and we can share, and whatever knowledge that you have in terms of herbal and myself, we can exchange and, you know, have a healthy, unpassive group. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Exactly. Yeah. I think anyone who wants to share, please go ahead. But actually, I want to, uh, Florence also touch on something called stress. Stress is almost the root cause of many, many of our illnesses or weakness. And how do we overcome stress? Does anyone able to answer this?
Okay, Mabel, you can go to YouTube. Yeah, they are. I can send some links there on this relaxation music, whatever.
Ah,
There are many there in YouTube. A lot. Even for
okay.
the healing of the of our body, the inflammation, by listening to those high pitch frequency, 432 hertz waves frequencies. All this, yeah, it helps in the healing part. There are many videos on that actually.
Okay.
Like listening to the sound of the water flow. All these are very relaxing, very soothing. Yeah, you know,
Mm,
a lot these days you can get it in YouTube.
Yeah, this is, sorry, this, if I may say, this is one of the practices we do, Sister Florence, on the island.
Mm.
Um, Anyone who suffers from stress, is recommended. We have a lot of rivers. So, you go, you sit by the river and you
Ah,
just listen to the water flow. And
Yeah,
this is healing. This is, it works wonders.
yeah.
It does.